So I'm asked pretty frequently by people who are interested in getting into more of the systematic style of trading, the kind of stuff we do over at Stats at Trading, where I run a bunch of back tests on systems that I've been working on for many, many years, and we just trade those when we're told to trade them. And I get a lot of people saying, "Well, I also have problems with, emotional trading and all of this, and I just don't know how to deal with that. And I want to get into systematic trading, and I'm not a coder, so I'm going to probably do a couple videos on this. But I want to start with what is the simplest way in order to get involved into systematic trading. And I think the simplest way possible is just with alerts. Now, let's just pop over here to TradingView. The cool thing about what goes on here with TradingView is we can set alerts for pretty much anything. We can set them on indicators, we can set them on just price levels, and they can get alerted to our phone, our watch. I will be walking out with the dogs and I'll get an alert to say, hey, look to potentially buy this stock or trade this stock. So what happens with in Stats Edge Pro is my alerts in TradingView get fed into the Discord bot. So the Discord bot will actually say, right, for example, BURL. Let's take a look at this one. BURL came through today and it's from a mean reversion setup. And the idea is that we're looking at this and we're saying, hey, this move is a little bit overdone. Let's nibble a bit here and get out in about a week's time. You saw the video I made earlier in the week. If not, go check that out. The idea is that we're taking advantage of this volatility when the market is volatile like this. But how could you take advantage of something like this if you're not interested in joining over at Stats Trading and make sure that you're getting these alerts and to reduce the amount of time you're spending at the screen and to reduce the way that you're thinking about all of these? You can simply set alerts. So what I'm actually doing, you're seeing live here with BURL, it triggered right off the open. We can go in, we actually take a look here at the alert. Yeah, triggered right as we have deck and we have BURL pretty much right off the open. So 10:58, that's 9:58 Eastern. That's when this thing happened. So I'm here now on a 30-minute chart and I just don't want to buy it as it's selling. I want some evidence that there's some buyers coming in. So I'm just going to set a little alert right above price. Now, what happens is right here, you can modify these alerts. You can say things like, I want it's when they're crossing up or crossing down or moving outside, all kinds of stuff. I'm going to say when it's crossing up over this line. And then I can, again, add to all this and say, hey, I want this to happen every time. I want it to happen once. And then I can just type and I can say, buy BURL. Now, that's the easiest way and the most simplest way to systematize your trading. Imagine a world where you go from staring at 7 different monitors all day. I only have one. You stare at all these monitors. You're trying to, when this buys this and when this crosses this and blah, blah. And now you're just saying, okay, the alert came in. Let me look at the longer term kind of 30-minute chart, pick an area where I want to be alerted. If there's strength in the stock, I'll check on this at the end of the day, and then you take that trade. You can also do this with exiting positions and exiting trades. So one of our setups, we use the 50-day moving average. Let's go over here. Let's take a look here. So we just use a 50-day moving average, and we are going to get alerted when we're going to exit. That's where how we're going to exit some of these trades, when and if they get over the 50-day moving average. Let's go to TPR just because it's the example that I have on something that I talked about in the last video. This was a little bit of a pullback. I got out of this on Monday. This was the idea behind the trade, but let's say I wanted to hold this instead of the 50-day moving average. We'll use a more common one. We'll say the 20-day. You can also be alerted to that as well. Right click on the moving average, say, hey, I want to be when the bar closes below, right, or less than this 20-day moving average. That's all I have to do. So now I've gone from staring at a million charts trying to figure out what's going on all the time to now I just have alerts in the system and they will get alerted at certain times. And when they get alerted, I'll end up taking a trade. So if you're looking to get into systematic trading, which is the point of this, what you have to do and what you have to focus on is where could I not be involved? I think that's the most important thing for people to focus on. It's not so much I need to code a system, I need to back test it, I need to do this, I need to do that. If you want to skip a lot of that, again, that's what I do over at Stats Trading. I just give you access to my systems. You can check that out, statstrading.com, link in the description below. Uh, if you're talking about your own trading, just don't go right off the deep end and say, I'm going to be a fully black box automated trader, blah, blah, blah. Start to push along the edges. And for example, set alerts. You could, if you're someone out there who has another job as opposed to trading, you could get up every morning. You could set some alerts around the trades that you're watching for that day. Wait for those things to happen. If you're someone who is, you're more longer term in nature, you can just use longer term charts. Even if you're someone who's interested in maybe day trading and you are able to sit at your screen all day, I would still say use alerts. Now, this is where we can kind of get advanced with it. And this is something that I'm working on with the guys over at All Star Charts and I'm working on with Kenny. And the idea here is that we're looking for um, trades, and I'm building this system, and this will be part of what we're doing over at Stats Edge. If I end up finding that this works enough and I can back test this in a certain way, uh, what happens is this particular alert happens when a stock is above VWAP for a long period of time and then breaks VWAP. You can see these red arrows. Well, if I go into my alerts tab, you can see it's alerting through all of these. So HLF, it alerted right here, although that's not working out. BBIO, it alerted right here. You can see a lot of these trades are coming through. Now, all I have to do is, again, right click on the indicator that I'm creating or any that you can find on the massive store here, and then just go through and say, I'm looking for a cross above VWAP. I'm looking for a cross below VWAP. But instead of pointing it at a symbol, I can point it at a list. So I'm able to create a list of names every morning, which is what I'm doing here, of things that I'm interested in trading that day, if and when certain conditions occur. And then I'm going to get alerted when those happen. So I'm able to day trade, swing trade, do all of these multiple things just based on the fact that I'm not hunting through and going through tons of symbols, and I don't have 1,000 monitors and 1,000 charts in front of me. I have exactly what you see here. This is all that I have. And what will happen is an alert will come through. It will say, take a look at this stock. I click on it, I take a look at that stock, and then I decide to take action. So I would say this is like step one for systematizing your trading. Is just, is there, if you're planning on exiting Apple when it reaches a certain price, there's no sense checking it on your phone every 5 minutes. Set out the alert, walk away. You will get alerted on, again, your phone, Apple Watch, smart fridge, iPad, whatever it is, when it happens. If your current platform doesn't have mobile alerts, you might want to look for one that does, but the idea is that you want to be alerted. Most broker platforms can do this as well. So, say you're using a scanning software and a charting software that doesn't have mobile alerting, or the mobile alerting's not great, your broker generally will as well. I know Interactive Brokers that I work with has this as well, where you can set alerts. So, again, probably going to be a series, but just trying to figure out how to bring people into the more systematic trading style, about things that you can do to push the boundaries. Can you trade more like this, or can you enjoy life more like this? Do you find yourself emotionally trading very often? Well, if you do, it may make sense to take a step back and say, I don't even want to be looking at charts. I want to be doing something else until those alerts hit. That's what we do over at statsedgetrading.com. If you're interested, come check it out. I hope you found some value in this video regardless, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.